Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday. We've made it our first week. Well done, everybody. So, you've got quite a busy day today, but then you've got the weekend. The first thing you should be doing today is, of course, your diary, and your diary is huge today because you're going to be talking about everything that you have done and everything you've learned this week. And if you think back, I bet there's absolutely loads. Think about what you've included in your diaries, all those special grammar techniques. So I'm really quite excited to read those. And also, don't forget that in today's diary entry, you should be including parenthesis. And if you remember, there are 3 different ways that you could include parenthesis. You could have it enclosed in brackets, and remember it's always extra information. Or you could have it enclosed using commas. And then if you use dashes, remember that the extra information should be funny or surprising. So don't forget that. Also, you should have been practicing your handwriting all this week, and you should have been practicing your spellings this week. So you could ask your parents to give you a spelling test if you wanted. The other thing is, if you have really been practicing your handwriting this week, then get your mum or your dad or your brother or your sister to take a picture and send it to me, because we will still be sending your handwriting to Mrs. Francis, and when you get back, if your handwriting is good enough, then you will get your handwriting pen. Right, so that's handwriting. Now, today you will have 2 tests to do. You've got the English test and you've got the maths test, and we will be sending those answers next week on Monday so you can check how you got on. And then, of course, once all that work's done this morning, then this afternoon you get to have fun. You get to do your science test. Investigation, sorry, not science test. So in your investigation, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making paper planes. But it's a investigation, it's a science investigation, so of course it's got to be a fair test. So you're going to have to consider your variables. These are some examples of variables. So the paper that you make the plane out of is one of your variables. The plane design is one of the variables. The person that throws the plane is one of the variables. Where you actually throw it is one of your variables. And the maker of the plane is also one of your variables. Now remember, in a science examination, you only change one of those, and then the rest all stay the same. So I was considering this, and what I've decided to do is I'm going to change my plane design. So all these other things have to remain the same. Now, I was quite clever because the paper that I used was the paper from the home learning packs, so that I'm not wasting paper. So I've used the same paper each time, it's the same size, it's just from my home learning pack, and the thing that I have changed is my design. So this is the first one. That's my first design. This then from that is my second design. Can you see? I'm not very good, am I? And then this is my third design. So the other things that have to stay the same is obviously the maker. I made all those. The thrower, I'm going to throw them, and I'm going to throw them from here basically. So here we go. 1. Oh, that was pretty good. 2. Oh, do you know what? I should have probably labelled it. Let me just label this one so I know. This is number 2. So I've just put the number 2 on it. Here we go. Oh, that was actually pretty rubbish. And then this one is number 3. So I've labelled it number 3. Here we go. Everything else is the same. Oh, I think I threw it towards the door, so that probably wasn't very good. And then what I will do is I will go and measure the distance, see how far it went, and then the one that went further is probably the best design. After that, once I've got a good design, the next thing I could do is then perhaps change the paper and see if from the best design that I've found, I could then choose the best paper, so that at the end of it I'll have a really amazing paper plane. That is what you should be doing today. You can do it as many times as you like, and then ultimately share the best design, share the best paper, and we'll perhaps do something with them when we get back to school. That brings me to the end of today's video. One last thing, you may have noticed there are some maths timetable questions hidden throughout this video. There are 10. You are quite welcome to watch this video again and pause it. What you need to do is write down the answers to the 10 questions, get your parent to email me the answers, and I will, and Mr. Smith if you're in Mount Merapi, and we will award some dojo points to the person that gets all the answers correct and the person that emails them in the fastest. If there is a draw, then what I would do is put your names in a hat and I would draw one name out. So this is Mrs. Thomas signing out. I really hope you are well. I really hope you're keeping active. We're hoping to get something exciting next week for you for PE. Otherwise, keep safe, keep well, have a fantastic weekend, and we will speak to you next week. Bye bye.